Hi everyone, this is Erin from Sandpaper Road and welcome to episode 2 of Use What You Have Vintage Cricut Edition. In this video, we'll be looking at ways to revive that first edition Cricut machine with nothing more than some pattern paper and the cartridges or files that you already have. So stick around. One great way to incorporate pattern paper into your Cricut projects is to use pattern paper when you are doing some paper piecing. And I know it seems probably a little bit obvious, but sometimes we just forget about these things. So for example, let me put down here maybe a lighter background here so you can see. Okay. For example, this is from the Cute Critters set, and now here I used just to layer it up. I used, I don't know if you can see the slight pattern here in this layer, and then this is a pattern that I made on my gel plate. And when you put them together, then you've got a real nice looking image. Just giving it a little bit of variety, you know, something different. And in the same way, let's see, I'll show you on another one. This is a little penguin. Look at the cute little penguin. Now here, these little pieces I used from it's got a real slight pattern in it, okay? But then when you put it together, you know, it looks nice. And then you could even use a pattern here for the scarf, okay? Instead of trying to color it or something, you know, it just gives it a nice little variety. And look how different it would be if you changed up the scarf, you know, with a little stripe scarf. I made one over here. Look at that. And then I found one of the different images in that same little cartridge was a peanut and it had a hat. But I thought, well, if I did the hat, I could do a little band and a pattern. You could put the hat on any animal, actually. I mean, honestly, you know, look, because some of them are meant to fit perfectly. I'd trim the ears maybe a little bit. Isn't that cute? That is adorable. Here is a look at how I finished off this project. I used the Just Chillin' phrase that came with this cartridge. Look at the pattern paper. And you know what? Don't get too hung up about if, like, I already had this little red scarf on the penguin, and this page I already had done just without these two accents. But don't get too hung up about, oh, it's red and it's pink. I mean, was that something that you noticed right away when you looked at it? No, you noticed the penguin, the thing, the page. It's cute and room for photos. And you're ready to go. Now some of the Cricut images in the cartridges and things have a way that you can layer one on top of the other in terms of phrases, and here's a few, and I just thought this actually combines, this is 3 stacked on top of each other plus a layer of a pattern on top. And I just think that looks really nice. It just brings it to life. This is 3 on top of each other, and then a pattern paper, a nice pattern paper. And this would go really well just with this. Wouldn't that look nice? Yeah, real nice. Combining the stacking technique from episode 1. And if you missed episode 1 of the Vintage Cricut series, I will link down below and you can check that out. But yeah, real nice combination here of stacking and pattern paper. Here's a look at how this project came out. I made a card with the deer and the So Deer. I made a little shaker card. So I can show you a little bit up close. Now there'll be more close-up photos over on the blog, and links are down in the description. Isn't that nice? Love it. Another way to use your vintage Cricut with pattern paper and make the most of your designs is to create note cards with monogram letters. It is the most simple thing, and I almost wasn't going to share this because I thought this is a little bit basic for crafty YouTubers, especially if you've had a Cricut this long. This is probably so self-explanatory that it doesn't even need to be said. But I actually was in a store and saw a bunch of cards that were being sold for not cheap in some kind of store in the mall or something, and they were no different than a letter on a card. And I thought, this is so perfect to give as a gift. It is so easy. You know, you've got a bunch of pre-cut cards and envelopes in your stash somewhere. And what a nice way to make use of, look at this. This is made from paper that I created, stuck together, with my gel plate a long time ago. So how perfect that you could just run, this is the other half of it right here. So you could just run some through, and look, that's a really nice set. I'm actually going to give that to my dad. So hopefully he won't see this before I give it to him. But look how nice, just a set of note cards. Nice for, I'm showing you the envelopes. Just nice. I also like, you know, this is great for, you know, a child's card. You know, they don't always have to be pop up and do everything and pull. This is just some nice animal paper cut into a big letter. And this is another set that I made with some of the, this is that same pattern paper pack from Echo Park. I really like it a lot. But look at that. That's just a nice, that would be a great set to get. And it's so basic. Monogram letters. Don't forget about monogram letters. And with that same thing in mind, these aren't monogram letters, but it's just the same simple, just one word, simple. How many times do you receive a card that's like that and you think, oh, I could have made that? Okay? So don't forget about those simple things, monogram letters on note cards. They make a great gift, and you can do it all with your vintage Cricut and pattern paper. Now, still another way to make a full use of your first edition vintage Cricut machine is to use pattern paper with your team spirit letters, or you know, your school pages. And look at this. This is pattern paper that's supposed to look like the inside of a pool, and so I cut it to say swim, you know. And don't forget that your Cricut machine can do letters. This is great for your school year's pages, or oops, where's the rest of it? Also great if you have someone that you're celebrating that has a unique name. Always nice for people to see their name spelled correctly, you know, when they can't find it in stores and things like that. But lots of different, this is all just, I mean, with the same Cricut quote-unquote cartridge or file, using, this was with the Expression 2, as a matter of fact. So yeah, and then don't forget too that you can use the insides of these circle letters, because then you can use liquid glue or run it through a Xyron or something like that. Really, really nice. And then they also come with the little flower accents. Now the paper here, this paper, this was what was interesting, is I had this paper from a paper pack, and it's like got freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, and this was the first thing I cut out, was her name, my cousin's name, this way. And I looked at it closer and I was like, well, you can't really tell that said junior in the first place. So that's when I got excited and started to cut flowers from it, and her name's smaller. Here with a little bit more space, you can kind of tell. But see, I'm going to need to, I think, cut the outline of that and back that, or just make sure it's on a solid background. And that just reinforces, you know, the rule of thumb to make sure the surrounding area is solid colored. That's really, really important. Then making, you know, my page for my son's play that he was in. This is the name of the the organization that puts on the youth plays and the adult plays in our county, you know, but using, they're doing the Lion King this year. So using some animal paper to cut out these letters, you know, just to make really good use of your pattern paper. And I know it seems just basic, but sometimes it's just, oops. Sometimes it's basic, but you just need to see it in action to be inspired. So hopefully this will inspire you some. Here's a look at how I made a double page spread. And I know it's kind of hard to see here with my camera angle, but this is, put the letters up here. This was actually I already had this, and then I put these flowers down here. But yeah, I already had this double page spread made. Did some craft outfitting, and had the pages made and just had to add this and the flowers to finish it off. Here is a look at how I finished off with these larger letters. Isn't that beautiful? Now, again, let's see, I don't even have pictures. I don't have pictures, but there will be three horizontal pictures here, and then 2 vertical pictures here, and then 1 horizontal picture here. It looks really nice. Let me see if I can grab. Let me give you some idea of how this would look here, just with some sample pictures. So you'd have 3 horizontal pictures, like so. See? Doesn't that look good? Yeah, like that. And then the other side would have, let's see, well, you'd put 1 here, just whatever picture it is, you know, and then you put 2 like that, vertical like that. That's a lot of pictures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pictures on a page. That's really nice. Yeah, good. But yeah, I like that, and I like that it was already, I had this made already with a craft outfitting pattern. And if you're not sure about that, you can head over to sandpaperroad.com and just click on craft outfitting. Had a pattern or these pages already ready and then just accented it with her name and they're ready to go. Another way to incorporate pattern paper is to use it in non-traditional Cricut images. So you might not think to use anything other than solid colors, you know, when you're constructing this rainbow. But you can make a lot of good use out of your pattern paper this way. And, you know, this is just a tip. I keep my pattern paper cuts. Remember getting all like these kind of cuts or these packs of things? I think they called them starter packs or whatever for scrapbooking. You might have things like that. Or if you come across things at a rummage sale, yard sale. This is great to just keep sorted like this in a box. And then you can run. This is also how I sort my scraps. I just cut them into usable sizes. Now this is like the front panel of a card, perfect size, that I could just go boom and go like that, or just trim it down to whatever size card I'm making. But also perfect to be able to run through my Cricut and make good use of my pattern paper this way. But don't be afraid to go non-traditional. I mean, that's pretty close to your traditional rainbow colors, but for me personally, this is not really my style. So I might do that same Cricut cut, but use just different pattern papers and maybe add some paint spatter or some texture paste or something. And all these are just different pattern papers with that same Cricut cut. In the same way, you know, you can use, this is more of my, here are moons. This is with a slightly patterned paper. There's just a real light pattern in there. But what a difference it makes if I was using a gel print paper. Isn't that neat? That's beautiful. Just beautiful. And you could do the same thing with, you know, I mean, clouds. You could use, there's a solid color. There's a nice pattern or whatever. Here's a look at how the final project ended up. And I used some of this was that moon pattern paper from the Gelli plate. I just made a little card with it. This was actually a pre-made card that I had made a while back. This was a cutout from the Cricut, and it was a little oversized, to be honest. I wasn't sure if I was going to use it, but I did put some glossy accents right there. I don't know if you can see a little bit of wink of Stella up here. And I just thought that looks really nice. I like with that circle, and that moon really looks nice. Here's how this final project ended up. This is worth using the rainbow with the non-traditional colors. I love this. And this was just some cut pattern paper, I think from Creative Memories. This here is the cloud that we looked at earlier. This sentiment is stamped. I think it's from Dare to Be Artsy. I'm going to use some paint spatter, some sparks, and a Nuvo drop, and just some other Cricut cutouts. Love that. This was a little bit of a larger card, but that's okay. It gives some good variety. And then I used some Distress Oxide ink on the outside edges. That's really nice. That could be any type of card. So hopefully this inspired you to make good use out of your vintage Cricut machine or your first edition Cricut machine. Just getting some variety and reviving that first edition machine using some pattern paper. Don't forget to check out sandpaperroad.com, and there will be links in the description box where you can check out all the products used in today's video, plus links to episode 1 if you've missed that on stacking, and just some other links to social media. Check out Sandpaper Road on social media, and thank you so much for subscribing. It means so much, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.